You see this? Yeah, this is what we're looking at today. This is going to be my top 10 list of, these are the large everyday carry knives. And I'm super excited because there's no price restriction. Just big ass knives. And there's a lot we have to look at, so let's do this. Hey, how you doing? If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. My name is Jay, and now consider clicking on that subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. I consider large to be any knife that has a blade length of at least 3.6 inches or more, like this CRK Foresight. Anything shorter is going to be medium. Now, any knife that I'm going to show you here today, there will be links down in the description below to either Amazon or White Mountain Knives. So in case you see something you like, you can go ahead and use the link and buy it. All right, let's kick things off with number 10, and it's going to be the Ontario RAT Model 1 in D2. Honestly, is there really anything else that I could possibly add to the conversation about this knife? I mean, you guys already pretty much know everything that there is to, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I mean, you got about 40 bucks, great price, good steel. What don't I like? Actually, there's just going to be one thing, and it's also regarding the stock pocket clip. Yeah, when it's up in the like in the tip up configuration, I just think that it rides way too shallow for my liking. All right, coming in at number 9 is going to be the Civivi Shredder. And first and foremost, I gotta say, my favorite feature about this knife is going to be the multiple deployment options. Anytime that I can use like a thumb studs or thumb hole and a flipper tab, that's a knife that I like to have in my collection. Fantastic slicer, and this is very lightweight. I mean, about 3.75 ounces. What's that, about 106 grams? Considering the size of this knife, very light. And we do get some lefty love. Thank you very much, Civivi. What don't I like? One thing, and it's just going to be regarding this, the tip of this blade. Hopefully you guys can see that there. Yeah, that's a pretty delicate tip. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to snap off when you go to cut stuff, but it's just something that you want to be aware of. Number 8, we got the Cold Steel Recon 1, and this is a large knife. I mean, you're looking at about a 4-inch blade, and it only weighs about 5 ounces. That's impressive. You get of course the very strong triad lock, and you just get, I think you really just get a whole lot of knife. Oh, and did I mention the S35 VN blade steel? You get a whole lot of knife for $90, and I just think that that's a good deal. What don't I like? Well, there's just going to be about just 2 things, and one of them is going to be I mean, you know, I like to have good traction on my G10 scales, but I think that this one is just a little bit too aggressive, so it definitely does, it chews up your pocket material. And not to mention, you know, the cold steel pocket clip, I mean, that doesn't help either. That just kind of makes matters even worse. Coming in at number 7, I've got the Chris Reeve Knives Large Sebenza 21. And now I know this is pretty much the knife that all other knives get you know, compared against, and everybody is well aware of the hefty price tag. What you might not know is all of the after sale services that Chris Reeve Knives offers once you've purchased your knife. I mean, it's almost like having kind of like having an insurance policy on your knife. I mean, as long as that company is around, you will be able to get this serviced. I mean, whatever you need. You need it sharpened, you send it into them. You need it reassembled, you can't get it back together, send it to them in a bag and they'll take care of it. This is a true hard use folder that is absolutely designed to last a lifetime. So what don't I like? Well, the price, sure, $450. Is that steep? You bet. You're getting a lot for your money. Know the action. This is not a fidget knife, so you just got to know that going in. And there is one thing that kind of bothers me about this knife is that they recommend that you don't like flick it open. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like, hey, you know what? I mean, you can do whatever the heck you want to. It's your knife, but I don't know, just to have that kind of stipulation, it's like I always got to keep that in the back of my head. Coming in at number 6, we got the Benchmade Presidio 2 in the new handle material, the CF or Carbon Fiber Elite. Check out this blade. I am absolutely in love with this drop point blade and the weight. Now, those of you that are familiar with the Presidio series, you know the previous handle material was that aluminum. And I think that weighed about, I don't know, it's like 6.3 ounces, something like that. This now is under 5. Yeah, under 5 ounces. It's like 4.97. That is pretty darn light for, I mean, you get a heck of a lot of knife here. I mean, over an ounce lighter than the aluminum version. The after sale services. So sort of like Chris Reeve knives, Benchmade offers some services as well, and one of the most popular being the Life Sharp service, which just means basically you can send it to them and they will sharpen it for you for free. The only issue that I have with this knife is just going to be the blade to handle ratio. I mean, you're looking at about 5-inch handle and a 3.72 inch blade. And number 5, we've got this is the Bestech Bison, and this knife probably has the best action out of everything. No, I take that back. Second best action out of everything that I'm going to show you here today. I mean, I cannot fail this deployment because you can see where that flipper tab is, how it's above the pivot like that. Well, that gives you a really good angle. So when you deploy the blade, it is difficult to get it. Actually, yeah, I can't fail it. This pocket clip on the Bison is probably one of my favorite titanium pocket clips ever. Look at that. No nonsense design, just simple, and it just has the single attachment point. Gosh, I wish, usually I'm not a fan of like milled titanium clips, but this one is, if this was on every knife, I would be in absolute in heaven. What don't I like? Well, one thing, and the price. So you're looking at about $100. I've even seen it as high as like $110. And this is D2 blade steel. I mean, I know you're getting titanium, G10 on the other side, but it's still, for those of you that gauge the value, the price of a knife by the steel that it has, you're not going to like this for that amount of money. All right, at number 4, yep, it is it's another Civivi, and you're looking at this is the Praxis. This is another one that just has one of the best looking drop points I've ever seen. I mean that. I love this blade shape, and it's probably, actually, this knife is overall one of my favorite Civivis. And guess what else? It is also one of the least expensive. What don't I like? Well, there is so much about this knife that there is so much that they did right. You know, the price, the materials, the size. So of course it is difficult to find this in stock. And at number 3, yep, this is the Endura 4 from Spyderco. You're looking at, of course, I mean, well, you guys know everything that there is pretty much to about this knife. I mean, a 3.75 inch blade, yet this entire knife only just barely weighs over 3 ounces. What don't I like? Well, 2 issues that I actually have with the Endura 4. The first one being that there's no forward choil. And you're saying, hey, Jay, wait a minute, there is one there. Well, I had to go ahead and put that in myself, because without it, I just feel that the blade is way too long to not be able to choke up on it. And, oh, the pocket clip. The stock Spyderco pocket clip makes this ride just way too shallow. Okay, I couldn't decide which one for number 2, so I figured I'll just put them both out here. And of course, yeah, you're looking at the Freek from Benchmade S30V, and then the M4. This is another one that has one of my favorite blade shapes, just a nice wide profile on it, great action, and this is something that's on bronze washers. You get this very same life sharp sharpening surface as I mentioned earlier, like with the Presidio. And the price, at least for this M4 version, I mean, I know it's almost about $200. It's like $191 and some change. I honestly feel that that is a fair price for this knife. What don't I like? There's just going to be one thing that I want to mention here, and it's with the S30V version, and it's the handle material. It does tend to get like caught up on, at least on my pockets, when I'm putting it in and out of my pocket. It doesn't happen with this knife, well, because it's different handle material, but that's my only gripe there. All right, before I show you my number 1 favorite large everyday carry knife, I just have one honorable mention, and I have to throw a Buck 110 out there. I mean, this is, again, you look up the word knife in the dictionary and it's probably going to be a picture of this, and it is a good knife. I mean, it's super durable. You could drop this off of like a 5-story building and it will be good to go. Unfortunately, yeah, we all know, no pocket clip. You gotta carry it in a sheath, and it is it's heavy. The knife that I'm about to show you is number 1. I almost left off of this list entirely because it was recently discontinued, but I thought about it, I went back and forth, and I thought, you know what, you can still buy them, and even with some retailers, it's even on sale. So yeah, I have to put it out there. So my number 1 favorite large everyday carry knife, yep, this is the Cirrus 615, and I love just about everything about this knife. This is so nice. I bought it twice. You get the multiple deployment options, so you get the thumb hole and the flipper tab. There is lots, and I mean lots of blade, 3.75 inch blade, okay, and they stuffed all that into a 4.7 inch long handle. How about that for blade to handle ratio? This action right out of the box, I mean, come on, it's a wee knife. Every wee knife that I have ever purchased, the action has been top shelf, just top friggin' shelf. What don't I like? Well, even though I am completely in love with this knife, that flipper tab, I have to point that out. It's huge. I mean, it's just way, way too big. And this is the knife, though, that's actually how I cut myself. Because I'm obviously left-handed, so I was putting this in my pocket, I was sitting down, and then the flipper tab got caught on something, and then it just opened slightly, and I didn't realize it, and I went to stick my hand down in my pocket. Yeah, it was a mess. It really was. But hey, I still love this knife, even though it darn near almost cut my thumb off. But recently, it was recently discontinued. Okay, Blade HQ has these on sale for about $170. When these were new, they were like about $280. You can get this even cheaper on Amazon. It was like $161, something like that. And of course, I found it after I'd already purchased these two. But the whole like discontinued deal is kind of it's a double-edged sword. It's kind of bittersweet, because since it was discontinued, I was able to get it at a lower price. If it was not discontinued, I probably would not have tried this at the full price of $280. All right, well, I'm sure you guys, you know what's coming. Yep, I've shown you mine. Let's see yours. Now it's your turn. Let me know down in the comments section below. Let us all know, hey, what does your top 10 list of large everyday carry knives look like? If you don't have 10, do as many as you can, but just make sure you put them down in the comments. And if you see anything in this video that you liked, that you want to purchase for yourself, there will be links down in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video and you got any value from it, do me a favor and let me know by just leaving one of these, yeah, with tape on it and everything. And hey, don't forget to click on subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. You guys, hey, take care. See you later.